Okay, I want to talk about something. We're gonna talk about aliens, but more about them as a whole, but more like how we perceive them. So what I'm trying to say is that there's a bunch of talk. There's a bunch of talk of whether like um people are like, oh, I bet that I would love to see aliens because I bet they're so sweet and like so kind and they just want to be our friends and stuff like that. And other people are like, they're not real, whatever. I'm here to more talk about these people that are like, oh, they're so sweet and they're so kind and they're here to help us. And not even, some people don't even think they're here to help us. Some just think like, oh, I'm sure they're nice, not even people, nice humanoids. I don't know, just a nice group of, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna say people, but okay, well, actually, yes, people, because I'm about to get to what I'm trying to say, which is, yes, there's a bunch of people that are like, yes, aliens, I'm sure they're so, if they were to come down, they would just want to be our friends and stuff, but we're just evil, cruel people that are so egotistical that we wouldn't even give them a second, that we wouldn't like even speak to them and we would just kill them and blah blah blah, which is true. I'm sure we definitely, if they pulled up, we would definitely, we as humans, not me, would just like try to kill them, probably, maybe, not everybody. But yes, anyways, so yeah, there's people that are like, me repeating myself. So, sorry, to the point. Um, when it comes to aliens, I just believe, it's a hard belief, so I'm saying belief, but it's something I generally think is true, is that, let's think of the human, and then let's think of a portal, and then here's the next human. This is us, this is a portal, and this is us again. And let's say 300 billion years. I don't know, that's just a random number. Same person, different portal. This person in 2021 will look different than the new human in 6050, random date. But basically what I'm trying to say is that we are aliens, just in a different time zone, basically. And when it comes to aliens, yes, they can easily pop up, and yes, I'm sure they would come down here, but when they see us, they would probably see us as, oh, that was us. That was what we used to look like in 2021. That's what we used to sound like, and what we used to be able to do, things like that, right? And then we perceive them as like, oh, I'm sure they're a nice species that's coming over here to like, try to be our friends, when in reality it's like, no, that's us, just in a whole ass, like, so long time frame in the future that we probably couldn't even fathom or even think about. But that's us. Like, we are the aliens, and what they do is what we will do in the future. So basically, yes, that's all I had to say. Just that when you see an alien, they came from a time warp, of course, but yes, they came from, lo and behold, like, further into the future, and they just popped up to 2021 to do more research, to do what they're doing. And of course, what I believe is that they're just trying to fix their mistakes. It's like whenever somebody tells you, if you could go to the past or the future, what would you do? And some people are like, well, I would go to the future to see what's happening. Or some people are like, well, I would go to the past to fix the mistakes that I made and things like that. I believe that it's something like that, where they go to the past to fix a mistake that is now in their future, in their present, as well as being able to go way into the future to see their own future, as well as to see how this timeline can look in the future. Basically, they're trying to find the best way to live, the best way to be present. I'm sure they've made several mistakes, several wars that made their species die, a bunch of a bunch of tension between groups, whatever groups may mean to you, whether it's other humanoids or even energetic imbalances that have happened, things like that. That's what I believe. But yeah, so next time you see an alien or anything like that, they basically are just from the way further future. Intelligence couldn't even probably fathom that either. You know, they've evolved. They are us evolutionized. And so yes, that people do feel like. So I understand why people will feel that feeling of like, I'm sure they're coming down here to, you know, be our friends, and like they're a good species and they don't hurt us, they don't even care about us, they're just curious and things like that. 555 I just saw on the clock. And I'm sure that deep down in the heart and in the consciousness, you can feel that energetic tie. There you go. That energetic tie to them, because you are them and they are you, and you know, they're just bouncing through timelines because they're doing their own thing and doing their own research. And I'm sure, never mind. I was gonna say, I'm sure we wouldn't even know what they're doing, but we kind of know what they're doing, or at least I kind of know what they're doing, and I'm sure everybody else is learning and is gonna start to learn what they're doing. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. Peace out. Okay, I will also like to add that I think that there's a bunch of different timelines going on at the same time. And what I mean by that is, let me explain. It's gonna be a little, okay. So, let's say there's this timeline going on right now, which is a timeline where aliens have created us, boom, watching us. Second timeline, we're living, blah blah, things happen, we start to warp and start looking like these aliens. Second timeline. Let's see. Third timeline, we are these humans. We keep going. Things happen. Sometimes we look like them, maybe we don't look like them. We go to war, boom, some of our species dies. Fourth one, okay, that's all I can think of right now. So let's say that those are 3 different timelines going on all at the same time. Sometimes they'll bump into each other and then, you know, coincide, and sometimes they'll be so different that they are 2 separate timelines that you can visibly see. And what I'm trying to say, or why I'm saying that, is to explain what I said whenever I said like they are us in a future, because there is also the timeline of they are us because they created us. And what I'm trying to explain is there is not a first, second, third, fourth, you know? If you want to think about it numerically, then you could think about it 4, 3, 1, 2, and or it could be 1, 4, 3, 2, or it could be 4, 1, 2, 3, you know? There is no linear line. And yes, you will always find a line somewhere. You will always find a time of events going on, you know, here first, here second, here next, here whatever. But when you really think of it in a broader perspective, you will see that with that line, how do I explain this? Okay, we'll do it on this. I need something darker. Okay. Let's say this is the linear line. And what I mean by this is, when I say linear line, I mean linear events. On April 1st, this happened. On the 3rd year of this same April, this other thing happened. You know, things like that, linearly. Right? There's your linear line of events happening But inside of that linear line, there can also be other linear lines. So now, and that's the 3 different things that I just told you. Let's think about it like that. So then there's the linear line of events where aliens created us, and that is the evolution of that. And then there's the second one of, what's it called? We are human, and then later in the future we start looking like them. And then the third one, which I don't even know what I said, they are aliens, and they go into war, and they start killing their own species, and that's the end. So, but inside of that, then if you want to keep thinking about it like that, and this may be confusing, but I kind of understand it myself, so maybe other people understand it. Inside of that, then there's these little rectangles inside of it, which are, it's like a linear line inside a linear line inside a linear line. And then you start realizing that things are not linear, and things are actually just all over the place. And that is how this world works. And so yes, when I explain we are them, yes, we are them, and I do believe that. It can just be explained in several ways. But I think you should just remember that, like, the root of it is that we are them, and they are us. And we just think about it as we help each other in ways that we don't really have to speak on. And what I mean by that is, like, it's not like, hey neighbor, I helped you, hey neighbor, thanks for helping me. It kind of just happens, it just is, you help in ways that you don't even realize, type of thing. Hope that explained a little bit more. I'll add anything if I think about anything else. The reason I try to explain this, why I try to dive deep into trying to really explain what I mean by this is us and this is us, this is human us and his alien us, is because whenever you say that, you start thinking about bloodlines and a beginning. And what I'm trying to explain is that there is no specific beginning, because what we see as one beginning, another will see as the year 2021. That's just another thing that happened, because in their mind there was another beginning. And that's what I'm trying to explain. What a human can see as the beginning of time is only what we perceive as the beginning of time, and somebody else will see it differently. And that's why I try to explain that if you somehow end up finding the beginning of us, it is not the real beginning. And I don't want you to stay stuck on that, it's like if you were to go talk to God because you heard that he was the one that created everything, and then you're like, okay, so go to the root, it's him, and let me speak to him and let me ask him. And then you're like, okay, cool, now I know it all. When in reality, it's only the beginning that even God knew, because in reality, there was somebody before him, and that is their beginning. All I'm trying to say, the same way that I said that this world just works in the way that is just all over the place. And all over the place is several beginnings and several endings and several middles, and it just all keeps jumping around and around and around and around and around. And don't get stuck trying to find which beginning is the right beginning. There just is. Peace out.